Hi everyone, it's Paola. So yes, I am back. I know I took a very long break. I was doing a lot of stuff and then I got sick and lost my voice, which is like, it's still coming back. But you know what? I'm back and I'm here and I'm excited because, well, first of all, I'm excited for the whole year. I'm excited for 2020. Like, things are going to be wild. And then I'm really excited specifically for this series that I'm going to start because this is something that people ask me about every day, and I know a lot of you guys are interested in it, and like this will be helpful for so many people. So I am starting this freelance series, which is so much fun. It's going to be so fun. There's going to be different episodes where I'm going to cover a lot of different topics. So even by the end of this one, if you have questions, don't worry. They're probably going to be answered in another video. And yeah, we're just going to see how this goes and kind of feel it out together. And hopefully this will be helpful for all of you who are freelancers, not just graphic designers, but also in the freelance world in general or want to know more about it. If you do not know me and you're new here, hello, I'm Paola, and I am a graphic designer and I do freelance, and I also do YouTube, and I'm basically my own boss, which is crazy to think about because it's like I never expected that to be my life, but here I am, and so I'm here to talk about it. We're not going to talk about my whole history of life and graphic design and all of that yet. That might be another episode with like how I got started and all of it and all of that, but right now I want to tell you how you can get started becoming a freelancer. So let's talk about it. Okay, so becoming a freelance designer. I think it's a really big decision. I know I get a lot of questions like all the time, like, okay, how can I make money quick? Like, how can I get clients and all of this just like quickly? And like, I mean, I'm sure that some of those questions are not supposed to be taken that way. Like, I know that people are taking this seriously and that is why they're reaching out to me. But sometimes it seems like a little like maybe people think it's just the easy option to do it yourself instead of going to find a full-time job or working in a studio or whatever in-house. And it's just as hard, if not harder sometimes. So I really want to take a minute to tell you guys, like, it's a really important decision if you want to become a freelance designer or freelancer in general, that you have to be realistic. Like, you have to figure out if this is the right option for you and the right thing for you, because you're going to have to put 110% of your energy into it, and it's not going to work if you don't. I'm here to tell you that I would not give this advice to just anyone. I would not just say like, oh yeah, straight out of college, you graduate from university, whatever it is that you're doing, or even if you just learned graphic design on your own or whatever, yeah, just go and be a freelancer, go be your own boss. There are so many learning experiences that you can have in work that will really be valuable to you later. And I am just kind of in a unique situation. Like, I kind of got thrown into this, I feel like, and also I was doing YouTube and all of this to like, it all kind of combined to be what I do now. So I feel like I'm in a slightly unique situation, so I shouldn't be the one to just say, yeah, do it, and do it carelessly. So I think work is really, really important. Freelance is a big decision, and it's also a really good decision. So you have to think of it both ways. You have to think about who you are and what you can handle, and think realistically about what works. So that is my first piece of advice, but let's go into a little bit of like a checklist into what you need to be prepared to be a freelancer. So the first thing after taking it seriously and really sitting down and thinking about it is actually thinking about your finances and whether or not that you can handle starting this. So like I said, 110% of your energy is going to have to go into this. You're going to have to be fully committed to being a freelancer if you really want to go for it and make an income off of it. So think about what you can realistically do. Can you stop working full time and you've saved that money and you have that cushion to take the risk and start doing it? Or maybe you are working a part-time job and this is going to be another source of income, which can only help you. So there's different ways to do it. Or, you know, even if you're not working at all and you're just throwing everything into freelance, make that a smart decision and don't risk it all and have no money. I've been there. I'm always there. I'm always being risky, and honestly, I'm telling you, from my perspective, don't do it. be a little smarter than me. Learn from my mistakes. I'm here to just be the bad example for you, you know? Now, if I haven't scared you away from freelance yet, let's give some practical tips about what you need to think through and prepare. Another thing on this little checklist that I'm creating here is think about practical things that you need to have. So what you need to have are your prices set. You need to have your hourly rate. You need to have a contract to help you talk to clients and have a set of rules, essentially. And then you need to have invoices, and you need to figure out your own tax stuff. So there are a lot of things that you need to think through. And don't worry, I'm gonna have an episode of this series where we talk about working with clients, and we talk about contracts, we talk about all of that. So we're gonna get to all of that. But you do need to address all of that first before you just jump in and find clients and talk to people and put your work out there. You need to assess like how you can manage all of it and how you're going to manage all of it, like what your prices are, you know, what your contract rules are going to say, like how many rounds of revisions are you going to have for your logos. And maybe this all sounds overwhelming, but don't worry, we'll get to all of this stuff. But it is something that you have to think about if you're preparing to do freelance. And I'm just telling you how to get started. This is an overview. Don't be overwhelmed yet. You can do it. I know I was discouraging before, but you can do it. I believe in you. Oh God, you're all gonna hate me after this. I'm like, don't do freelance. Like, I want you to do freelance. I want everyone to succeed. I just want everyone to succeed in the best way possible and the smartest way possible. And I've been dumb before, I know. I think a big reason why a lot of people haven't started freelancing yet that want to is they're afraid of exactly how to start getting clients and how to start interacting with people in that way. And I am going to do a whole video on getting clients and interacting with them, but a thing that you need to understand about yourself, I think, before you start freelance in the freelance world is how do you approach people? How can you work with people? Are you afraid to call people? Are you afraid to take criticism and work with someone in a collaborative way? Do you like working alone? And there is a lot of alone work in freelance. You're always alone doing stuff. I'm so alone. But are you able to collaborate with people, take feedback? Are you able to reach out to people out of the blue? Are you afraid to talk on the phone with people and take meetings and things like that? Because you need to have all of those skills in order to be freelance. You have to put yourself out there and be vulnerable, essentially, which is a really big thing for me, especially this year. I just want to be more vulnerable with people, and I think that has already helped me in my work with my clients because I'm just able to completely take their feedback, adapt to who they want or what they want and what design they want, and I can become that person and that designer for them. I think I'm learning that as well, but I think that's something I can pass on to you is like prepare yourself to talk to these people and talk to many different types of people and really own your work. Like understand that people are just giving feedback. Not everyone has the same language that you have and can use the design terms that you know and stuff. So you just have to be considerate and put yourself out there as much as possible in a really vulnerable way. But it's a really, really good thing. At first, I was very, very timid with my clients, and I didn't want to say like my prices, and I didn't want to push things, and I didn't want to even take phone calls or talk to people. Like it's a lot of pressure, and I get it. I get why it's scary to start. But as you go into it and as you open yourself up to that sort of conversation, it's a whole new world when you're in charge of your own stuff. If you're open to it, I think it can only get better and better the more people that you work with. And like I said, you're in charge of yourself. So my next tip is basically you have to motivate yourself. If you want to do freelance, you have to be very, very self-motivated. You have to be able to set a schedule for yourself. I know a lot of people think I probably just sit around all day, and that can be the case. It's very easy to slip into that, and it's very easy to just say like, oh, I worked, I sent an email today, that's it. And like, are you really working? Like, I don't know. There's so much that you can always be doing as a freelancer, and like, there's on one side you can be really lazy, and then on one side you can work too much. So you have to kind of control yourself and figure out like what you can handle, because you're not having a boss looking over your work. You're not having people who set a 9 to 5 for you or whatever hours that you would work in a job. You are in charge of your schedule. You're in charge of your life, but this is also how you have to make money. So it is your job. And also prepare yourself for being able to handle the busy times and being able to handle the really not busy times. And, you know, sometimes as a freelancer, you can be working so much and you never take a break. Like, as a freelancer, you're working on a Saturday, you're working on a Sunday, you're emailing people, you're calling people, people get back to you and you want to respond right away. You want to work all weekend so you can have something to show the client on Monday. There's all these different things that can happen, and you have to find that balance for yourself. I think that's just something you need to be prepared for, is like, what is going to be my style of work, and like how much am I going to work, and how am I really going to motivate myself? Because if you don't have that motivation to do the work for people and finish things and follow things through, then freelance just might not be for you. You might need that, and that's okay. You might need someone to tell you what to do, and some people are like that and some people aren't. So assess yourself, figure it out for yourself, but that is a big thing in freelance, because you are in charge of your own life, and that can be a scary thing. So I hope that these tips were helpful for you. I feel like this is an introduction to this freelance series, but it's also an introduction into a decision that you might be making. Like, do you want to be a freelancer? I think I covered a lot of things that you definitely need to consider if you're making these decisions and wanting to get into it. Hopefully it was helpful for you. If it was, please give this a thumbs up and let me know what else you want me to cover in the freelance series. I do have some episodes planned, but like, I want feedback. I want us to work together and make this the best for everyone. So let's talk about it in the comments. And also, ring the notification bell if you have already subscribed. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram at Paola Kassa. And I will see you in my next video, which will be another video. This is going to be mixed in with other episodes and stuff, with other videos. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to post a million freelance videos in a row, but it's going to be good. I'm going to be consistent. I'm on top of things this year. I'm back. And yes, I will see you in my next video. Bye! I actually have to go work on my client stuff, so let's wrap this up.